Happiness doesn't come from money, it comes from these three things. Throughout our lives, many of us have believed that money is the key to happiness. We work hard, save, invest, in the hope that one day, when we have enough material things, we will feel fulfilled. But when we reach 50, after going through many stages of life, raising children, building a career, taking care of a family, many people begin to realize an important truth: money can bring comfort, but it does not guarantee lasting happiness. So what creates true happiness in the later stages of life? The answer often lies not in what we own, but in what we feel and connect with. Here are three core things that help people feel happy from within, especially when we are past the halfway point of life. 1. Inner peace. Not everyone with a lot of money lives peacefully. Many wealthy people still lose sleep, worry about the future, or are haunted by the judgment of others. True happiness does not come from a bank account balance, but from a mind at peace, undisturbed by anxiety, jealousy, or social pressure. Inner peace is the ability to accept yourself, let go of things you cannot control, and live with a light heart. When we are young, we often chase after achievements and recognition. But as we grow older, we begin to understand that happiness lies not in winning or losing, but in letting go. A quiet afternoon, a hot cup of tea, or an aimless walk all become treasures when we live with serenity. 2. Meaningful connection. One of the deepest human needs is to be connected. No one can live happily in isolation, no matter how much wealth they have. Especially in middle age and retirement, when work circles shrink, close, sincere relationships become more precious than ever. Happiness is not about the number of friends on social networks, but the quality of people you truly trust. It could be a spouse who understands you, a child who is always ready to listen, or an old friend who calls every week just to ask how are you. Happy people feel connected without having to be perfect. No need to say much, no need to do anything special, just have someone present, share an empathy. That connection nourishes the heart and brings a sense of belonging, something money can never buy. 3. Being present. Happiness is not in the distant future. It is not in the uncertain future or the unchangeable past. Happiness can only be fully felt when we live in the present. When we are young, we often look forward, worry about our career, our children, our future. But at a certain age, we realize that life is not about the destination, but about each moment that is happening. A simple meal, the sound of birds in the morning, the gentle breeze on the porch, all can become a source of happiness if we are truly present in that moment. Many people live in the way that the body is present, but the mind is far away. They are eating but thinking about tomorrow, chatting but still scrolling on the phone, living but not feeling anything. When we focus on the present, breathing deeply, listening, observing, we will see that happiness is not outside of us, but is how we experience each moment of life. In short, happiness is an inner state, not a material thing. Money makes life easier, that's true. But money can't buy peace, it can't replace real relationships, and it can't keep us in the present moment. In our 50s and beyond, what we need isn't more, but enough and deeper. Happiness doesn't come from having, it comes from feeling. When you have a peaceful mind, a few people around you who truly care, and the ability to live in the moment, you're living a meaningful life. And that's something money can't give. We've come far enough, now it's time to turn inward. In our 20s, it's common to believe that happiness lies ahead, a good job, a nice house, enough savings to not worry. But at the age of 50, after going through many dreams, many ups and downs, people often turn back and ask themselves, have I really lived happily all these years? That question is not easy to answer, but it is the starting point for a deeper life. That is when we realize that happiness does not need to be chased, but needs to stop and feel. In fact, things that used to be considered success, such as fame, wealth, social relationships, sometimes make us tired and disjointed. True happiness is not in the spotlight, but in the warm light in the kitchen every night. It is not in the applause of the crowd, but in the hug of a loved one after a long day. Those seemingly small things, when viewed from the lens of maturity, are truly the most precious wealth. 50 is not the end, it's a new beginning. Many people fear turning 50. The body begins to change, relationships can fade over time. But if you look deeper, this is the ideal time to be true to yourself. When we are young, we live for others a lot, for our parents, for our children, for the expectations of society. But after 50, we have the opportunity to live for ourselves in a more genuine and gentle way. This is the time to learn to forgive the past, let go of things that no longer serve us, and nurture forgotten values. That is why building lasting happiness from within becomes more important than ever. It does not come from having more, but from taking less expectations, less comparisons, less trying to be someone else. When you allow yourself to just be yourself, you are closer to true happiness. 3 things to be nurtured every day: inner peace, meaningful connection, and the ability to be fully present. They sound simple, but they are practices that need to be practiced. They don't come to you just because you're older, they come to you because you choose to live differently. Take a few minutes every day to sit still and listen to your breathing. Call an old friend, just to check in, no reason needed. Turn off your phone when you eat, when you talk, when you walk, and instead, be present. We don't need to change the world. We just need to change the way we experience it, from rushing to slowing down, from noise to listening, from busy to leisure. When you do that, you will find yourself living in happiness, not in material things, but in your soul.